In this video, I'm sharing my weekend trip to Phoenix, Arizona. The day started out as a rainy Friday morning. I stopped at Starbucks to get a strawberry acai refresher, and then I headed to work. Later that evening, we headed to the airport where we got some food and boarded our plane. This was our first time flying since COVID began, so I was quite nervous, but it ended up being just fine. When we landed in Phoenix, we headed straight for the hotel and went right to bed, so we were ready for the zoo the next day. Next day was Saturday, and we went back to the airport in the morning to pick up our rental car because it was cheaper to rent on Saturday than it was to rent on Friday. We then drove to the Phoenix Zoo, which is located in Papago Park, which has these beautiful red rock formations that you can actually see from the zoo. I honestly had no expectations going into the Phoenix Zoo, but it ended up being a really beautiful zoo with lots of great animal exhibits. It's home to over 3,000 animals and almost 400 different species. They're involved in a lot of different conservation projects on a local and global scale through research, breeding programs, and funds for conservation projects. They had a whole area dedicated to showcasing their conservation projects, and I thought that was really cool. I also really loved the relaxed vibe of the park. Between the music and the landscape, it was just a really nice day. They actually played some of the music that I've used in previous videos, which I thought was funny, and I just loved it. They had these animal scooters that you could rent that looked like so much fun, and they also had a tram that would give you a tour of the zoo. The Phoenix Zoo has an event called Zoo Lights where they put up Christmas lights in the shapes of animals, and one of my favorite ones was these orca lights, of course. I would love to see them lit up someday. The zoo has this really cute area with farm animals like donkeys and goats and horses. I got to pet a horse, but the horse was not really crazy about that. They also have a program where you can learn to ride horses and care for horses. It's a program called Horse Hands, which I would honestly love to do if I lived in Phoenix. I personally love visiting new places, especially new zoos, because it's so fun to be in a new environment, see different animals and different habitats. It's fun to find out about the different conservation work that's going on at zoos, and of course it's fun to find new places and animals to take pictures of. This area reminded me so much of Animal Kingdom in Disney World. I love the colors, the music. It was just very well themed. The zoo has an Arizona trail where they have all local Arizona wildlife. I think one of the coolest animals I saw was a coyote, which I didn't get a video of, but it looked right at us and it was really cool. Our day at the Phoenix Zoo was honestly one of the best days ever, and definitely a trip I will remember forever. If you have been to the Phoenix Zoo, let me know what your favorite area or habitat is, because I honestly can't choose just one. After leaving the zoo, we saw people watching the sunset from that rock formation in Papago Park, which was really cool. And then we headed to Panera for dinner. It was just a lovely end to the night. The next day was Sunday, so we got up early and we headed back to Panera for breakfast because there honestly weren't that many places to eat around our hotel. So we got some food and then we headed to a place called Liberty Wildlife. Liberty Wildlife is a facility that rescues and rehabilitates native Arizona wildlife. They have a lot of birds and they have squirrels and reptiles. When we first got there, we watched a little presentation with these ducks whose names are Cheese and Quackers. Some of the animals are not releasable due to the nature of their injuries or their circumstances, so they have a permanent home at Liberty Wildlife and they educate guests about native Arizona wildlife.
fish online before. About 8% of their diet is fish and waterfowl. So that's what you can use.
They had so many birds to look at. They had bald eagles, they had American kestrels, they had hawks and ravens and owls, a lot of different birds. If you ever find yourself in Phoenix, I highly recommend checking out Liberty Wildlife. They have some amazing animals and they're doing amazing work. But it was time for us to go home, so we went back to the airport and we got some food, we boarded our plane, and we headed back to San Diego. There is just something so special about landing in San Diego. Maybe I'm biased because it's my home, but it's just beautiful. And let me know if you've landed in San Diego and if you feel the same way. There's just something different about it. Visiting Phoenix, Arizona was just so much fun and just such a great experience. I'm grateful for the whole experience and I can't wait to go back someday.